replaced.
Yeah.
Wes coming up, and I think once again, when you have a quality of player like Wes, who's going to be a Division I shortstop, and when you can put him on the mound and not feel like you lose anything at that position, that's something you can't put a price on. And I think Wes is, as we see here, Wes is starting to really start figuring out just baseball in general. He's always been a good player, but as he keeps getting bigger and stronger, driving baseballs, I think our last game of the year, he took one deep against one of our players, Nick Rotundo. So he's starting to figure out how to drive the ball. He had a real good year this year, both offensively, defensively.
On the mound, he was spectacular.
Yeah, we were talking about it. I think he made one error all year at shortstop, and we're not playing on Yankee Stadium.
No,
so,
certainly not.
We have good fields and we have bad fields, but his just ability to be solid, like I said, it just. As a coach, it's great. When there's a ground ball to the middle infield, I feel real confident the play is going to be made, and you can't beat that.
Well, and character things, too. I mean, I remember interviewing him, after a game, after you guys beat Morris Knowles, incredibly well-spoken.
Things that, we talk to our guys all the time about it, and, how do you find a way to do that?
I like what West did there. You saw a different, a whole bunch of pitches coming at him, but notice that one hanging a little.
But, how do you come back and how do you battle from it?
Yeah, especially in the era of pitch clock, because this is hitting in the air over to right field, drifting over towards the line. It's tough to find anybody that's better than West, especially the leap that he's made on the mound from last year to this year. Maximo's done such a nice job. For the Chatham Cougars, he was a big reason why, even though that in a lot of points of the season they were a sub-500 team overall, when Maximo was out there on the mound, he was just able to turn things around and get the job done. So he was really good this year. Again, last year in 9 innings at a 6.22 ERA. This year in 42 innings, a 1.83 with 58 Ks in 42 innings pitched, just 19 walks, as he allowed a little bit more than a base runner per inning. And, we talk about just, how do you do against the best competition? Well, against Morris Knowles, which has 7 college-committed players, 6 of them, which are in their starting lineup. He went 6 1/3, allowing 7 hits, just the 1 run, and struck out 9. And then against Del Barton in the title game, gave up 3 hits. The pitch count ran a little high, but had 6 strikeouts, just 3 walks against the Del Barton Green Wave team that will be competing on Thursday for a non-public A championship in the state of New Jersey. So, again, he was able to really come in and shut them down. He had 3 games of 9 or more strikeouts on the season, and, the leap that he's been able to take has really been something special. In addition, for Maximo, again, did really well at the plate. His average was about the same, but he really jumped up in the slugging department, going from a 371 as a sophomore to a 517 as a junior. Also hit a home run, 3 doubles, 3 triples, walked 6 times, did a really good job at the plate. As Coach Leather's coming back, Coach, I was just talking about, just the projections from Wes and how he was able to make a big leap on the mound from last year to this year. A true ace on the staff, and not only was he able to do well throughout the regular season, but, he shut Morris Knowles down, and he did the same thing against Del Barton, and it's how well you do against the top competition. Well, he certainly delivered in spades.
Yeah, he's, he had a tremendous year. I've been trying to tell college coaches for a while about how good he is and everything, but, he keeps improving. You see the body, you see it. The amazing thing for me is he made 1 error at shortstop this year. In a high school season to be able to do that, is just amazing. And has the ability to locate 3 different pitches at any time. That's what makes him so effective. Falling behind 2-0 and having the ability to drop a curveball in and then backing it up with a fastball. The curveball has plus spin to it. And once again, you can also talk about the 350, 360 batting average as well. He just finds a way to get things done, and he's a true leader. He's somebody that he learned from some of the seniors this year who did a great job of what it takes, and he works extremely hard, and just does a really good job of competing. It was great. I went through probably a 5-game stretch, and I think you were there for a couple of them where I told people it was like I was it was like a video game. I'm just sitting there, I'm calling the pitches, and he's just hitting the spots, and he's making people look silly. We did it against some of the best in the state, some of the best in the country. And like I said, just overall really good player.
Yeah, 9 outings. He only gave up more than 2 earned runs once. And that was in a game against Mendham, which was a slugfest all in all. So that could have been just the environment of that game. But, held Del Barton to no runs on 3 hits, 3 walks, 6 Ks. Held Morris Knowles to 1 run on 7 hits, 9 strikeouts against the Golden Eagles, who are looking to become back-to-back state champions.
Yeah, the Morris Knowles game was just
that was an unbelievable game.
It was a great. That lineup is stacked from top to bottom. And he was able to come in and shut down some of their better players. A couple of hits he gave up too that I think that in different scenarios would have not been hits. You know what I mean? Wind and some sun stuff. But just like I said, just a guy that he hit a stretch there that was really really good and had a little bit of bad luck kind of that last outing of the year of just some slip coming off the mound on one ball, took a crazy spin on another one that we thought maybe hit off a guy's leg, and it gets to you sometimes. But like I said, I couldn't have expected, I couldn't have asked for anything more of him, both offensively and on the bump this year, and it's going to be a huge piece for us next year moving forward. And like I said, it couldn't happen to a better kid. When you see him and his teammates and how hard they work, and it was just great to see him and how successful he is.
He really is not afraid to challenge right-handed batters inside. We saw it with the fastball there, and before he had a little front door curveball that just hooked in right off the belt and over for a strikeout. So he goes right back with the fastball on the inside part of the plate. I think my favorite thing about Wes right now is his ability to strike a lot of batters out. His fastball is good, but it's not blowing anybody away just yet. He kills you with the location.
Yeah, I mean, location is key. He, like I said, he's one of the things we kind of opened up a little bit this year with him is really started working that inside part of the plate. But he's able to make once again, like you see where that pitch is, like just a really really tough pitch. It's not getting a lot of the plate, just moving just enough, and he's able to locate to both sides, and just doing a really really nice job.
Yeah, I remember a highlight of that Knowles game. I know Luke Dickerson went 1 for 4. I don't know if he faced him in all 4 at bats, but I know he struck him out at least 2 times. And that's a kid that's going to the University of Virginia, might get some looks in the amateur draft as well.
Yeah,
so to be able to do that against a kid like that is unbelievable.
I think it's one of the ones, look up Luke Dickerson's stats this year. They're second to none.
They're very silly.
He's a tremendous player, and Luke, like I said, watching him and competing against him, knowing going into that game what you had to do, it was watching Wes being able to do what he did. And he made some pitches that game against Luke that were just, they were special. He was able to run a fastball in with him one time with 2 strikes, and because Luke is who he is, he did an unbelievable job of fouling it off. And Wes just doubled up and came in again and elevated just a little bit. And it was just one of those moments where you're like, when you get to watch 2 great players going against each other, and you don't get that a lot. And to watch that high level and watch him be able to compete, and knowing that he's got a full another year of this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you sit there and you see these 86, 87s right now, and you sit there and say, where's that going to be next year? That can easily be 90, 92, and and with the amount of effort he puts in, how much he cares, it's and that curveball is just when it's on, good luck.
I mean, he left that one a little high, and it still tumbled around. Like, that wasn't a hanging pitch. That just ended up off the plate. So even making a mistake, he's not giving you anything too good to hit.
Right.
I came in at 72. It was about 10 miles an hour off the fastball. That fastball's going to ride high.
Yeah, I think the beauty of Wes is, the reason that I love him so much is, he's a shortstop that pitches, and I think that's how he views himself a little bit. So when he's on the mound, you literally just see a competitor, right? Because the amount of effort that he puts in to baseball is great, but he's never really just focused on one, right? You have a guy who's focusing on being a great shortstop, being a great hitter. I think that the upside for him is tremendous.